Okay, so I wanted to make another data wrangling example, and in this case here, it's where we've got the details about some rows in one condensed column. Now you'll get an understanding of that once I show you the data. Okay, so we've got this this URL, and if we paste that into Chrome, it gives us our download. Oh no, it just shows us the sheet. That's great. So that's how it looks. We need to change a few things about that URL to make it download. So what is it? Google Drive? No, I've got a little snippet. Yeah. So for any Google Drive file, I've got a little snippet that we need to do that to it. Okay, so if I go URL, first of all, let's load the packages. Okay, so this is just changing the URL a tiny bit. Bear with me. Let's try once more. URL. There we go. So it's changing the URL a tiny bit by replacing something. So it's replacing this OpenID with this one here. And when we run that URL, it actually goes direct. Well, I just hit. It goes direct to the download. Let me just close this down. So there you see it's downloaded the CSV file. So that's the one we want, okay? So it's just good to know about how you can alter the URLs to make it an actual download. All right, so there we go. So let's go ahead and download this file. So I've got another snippet, and this one here, it's generally for an Excel file, but let's change it to a CSV. So let me get rid of that. Read underscore CSV. TF. So what this does is it goes up to the internet and gets the file at that URL, and then it writes it to a temporary file at this location. So if I run that, it's plonking it down the temp folder, and then what's happening is it's just referring to that location, and it's bringing it in. Okay, so nothing too fancy there, although it is quite fancy. So let's do it. So let's get. Oh, didn't like that. Let's try again. Get. There it is. It's brought it down, and it's told you where it's put it, and then let's download it. Okay, so now we've got that all taken care of. Let's take a look. Yep. So it looks just like the Google Sheet, and you can see what the problem is here. So the problem is that there's like headers, a subheader, and then a third level of header, and that's the one we've actually got values for. So it's saying that this lavender is actually an opaque bar soap. Same with honey, orange, and mint, but this lavender is a transparent bar soap. Okay, so what we really want is we want those headers to be in separate rows. So level 1, level 2, level 3 headers. So that way it's more tidy, and that way we can operate upon it better if we were to make a visualization. So how do we go about doing this? The first thing to identify is the level of header. So this is a level 1, and we can tell it's a level 1 because it's just got one digit here. Further down the line there's a number 2 as well. And this has got a level 2 header, and this is a level 3 header because it's got 3 digits. So in a way, we can also work this out from the number of dots that are present. But it's tricky because the first level of header has a dot at the end, but none of the other ones do. So we sort of need to fix that. Okay, so I'm going to fix it by taking off that dot. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we want to mutate. Let's say header num, and that's going to equal. So we want to look at the last string substitute of item. We want the last digit. Let's see what we get there. Oops, could not find function, downloaded data. That's okay, I don't want the function, I just want that. Let's try it again. Yeah. Okay, what's happened there? Header num is P. Ah, okay, so first of all, we need to split it. So separate. I always spell separate wrong, and it's very embarrassing. So we want to separate item into name and num. Oops, Oh, that's what's happening. I've got this English language thing swapped around. I don't know why it does that. Let's do it. Name and num, and the separator is default. It's going to be space. Let's just put it in. Sep equals space. Yeah, that's better. I don't know what happened. Must have picked up some other default. Probably tried to use dots. Okay, so now we've got it separated. We've got the numbers there. So we need to, let's swap those around, num and name. So now we need to, we run that. We can see that the final one is a dot there. So if else, if the final bit equals dot, let's do that. Let's say 1, 2. Let's do a quick test to see if we get it. Yep. So that's correctly tested. And so now, if it's not, I'm just going to leave. Oh, I just want to leave it the same. Okay, but if it is, I want to take off that dot. So I'm going to string sub num, and I'm going to take off the last letter. So I'm going to go from the first letter all the way to the second last letter. Okay, so let's see if that works. Yeah, it does. So now we've got the we've taken off that additional dot that throws us for a loop. Okay. So now, working off that, we can go. Let's just change header. Let's override that. So we want a string count. Yeah, I want to count the number of dots inside header num. And I think I might have to actually backspace that because it's a one, yeah. So I've got because it's a regex term, that's better. Okay, and then I want to plus 1 to it because that gives us the correct level. All right. So now, what I could do is let's do one more operation. Header num equals paste 0 header level, and then I want to put add level underscore, and then I want to do header num. What do we get with that? Yeah, that's better. Well, let's just say level. Cat level. That sounds nice. Category level. So run that, and now what we can do is if we go ahead and spread that header num with the actual name. Let's see what we get there. Okay, that's what we wanted. So now we've got our separate category columns, which is good. And then what we can do from this point here is we can fill those down because they apply to all subsequent ones. Now the top one's just going to be bar NA, but we don't actually need that. We only need the columns that have a profit value in them. And we want the details of this to be not just the level 3, but also the level 2 and level 1 categories. So we can fill down, and we can fill down by everything except for num and profit. And this way, it's actually quite a dynamic process. There could be any number of categories condensed into the one num column. So if we run that, ooh, didn't like it. Capital P, I think it is. Yeah, so now if we float it all down, and then we only need to showcase the not NA profit. There we go. So that has effectively put our data into a nice tidy table. Fantastic, 10 minutes. All right, it's ready to start making a chart now, but I'm not going to do that. See you later. Bye.